Hey, welcome everybody. It is another Wednesday night. Welcome to Whiskey and Wisdom in the Dark. I'm your coach here with Donnie Nolan, here with Russell, the muscle, the jaded cowboy himself, J-Love on the road in the dark, and Tristan Dunn, our millennial vampire, the guy behind the scenes, your FMK king. How's everybody doing today? Gentlemen, what are we drinking? Donnie, start us off.
I'm drinking a hot toddy. I've been sick still, so I got some hot tea, some honey, and a little bit of rum in it.
There you go. Tristan, what are we drinking over there in North Carolina? H2O. J-Love is not drinking anything because he is driving, and he is a responsible.
Yeah, okay. I'm extremely responsible. I'm extremely responsible drinking and driving. So I'm buckled up. My beer's buckled up. You know what? And it's a beautiful thing.
It's responsible as long as your beer has a seatbelt on.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Russell, what are you drinking on down there?
We got a couple of Modelo Cheladas, a couple tall boys, and then we're gonna switch it over to Miller Lite because the heartburn gets to me sometimes. So
Prilosec, you got to take one every day.
It's myocarditis.
Gentlemen, I am drinking straight running ice water from College Station, Texas. Told you a little update. I told you guys last time I was starting the that cold water plunge. Every day I told you that Joe Rogan got me started on that. I am on day number 3 now. Get up straight in the morning. I went and got me a 100-gallon tank there at Tractor Supply, filled it up with 50 pounds worth of ice water, and I jump in it, and I'm able to stay in it for 3 minutes.
Good job. What
a shock. It's amazing now. I mean, you get in it, and it takes your breath away. I mean, it's really, you got to breathe and you got to relax, and it's the meditative thing. And my wife even took a video of it one morning. But I'm on that for 3 days now, and it feels good. And I can't wait to do it again in the morning. This morning was one of the coldest mornings so far this week. So I'm doing that. I'm on that. I'm trying to cut my drinking. What's that?
I think you cut out.
It helps build the immune system.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of effects.
Driving down a shitty ass road, so
yeah, there's a lot of good effects that I've read on it, and that's why I'm doing it. Try to get to some of the toxins out. Trying to slow my drinking down, amongst other things this month. Trying to get right. Mm-hmm. Trying to get my mind right. Trying to get back in the groove of things. I've got some goals and some plans, and so that's just one way to start off. So if y'all guys want to, man, come on over to the house and take a plunge with me. It feels amazing. Especially, it's a great way to start your day. Right there in the morning. And
do we keep our underwear on, or do we take those off?
Oh, you don't have to. I do. I keep my tighties on. Jump in there and breathe and meditate and I keep repeating, and it just comes to me. I repeat the word win real loud and really long when I breathe out. Oh, win. Just do that. I just tend to do that. And it's tough for about a minute and a half, and then it's really relaxing. And then that last minute, your body gets cold all over again. And then it gets to the point where I can't do it, and you got to get out. But it's a great way to start the morning. I can't wait for that 35-degree morning. Let's see how good that shit goes. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's what's been going on. Anything new? Any what the fuck moments going on in your world, J-Love?
You know what? There was quite a few that came over my radar the past couple of days, and they've just sort of slipped my mind. I've got other things preoccupy me right now with everything going on at work. So those kind of slipped my mind. But there were some there were some that really popped up, and I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. I mean, for instance, we could continue to beat a dead horse with the whole Ukraine thing, and we just sent them another $50 billion or something, and yet our own people that we can fucking, our own homeless veterans on the streets that we can't seem to, we can't seem to make a dent in the mental health issues that we have plaguing those individuals, among many others. That's a what the fuck moment for me every day when I get up, and the first story out the gate is usually 99 times out of 100 it's usually something that's negative. So I try and find alternate sources of resources, from Gateway Pundit to stuff like that. Go to Rumble. It's just I try and steer away from the lamestream media, because it's just so chock full of just bullshit.
I had this conversation with Russell. Of course, me and Russell we work together, and when I get tired of staring at my bosses, I go to the back, because the finance offices are in the back. I get tired of looking at my bosses, so I go over there with Russell, and we talk a little bit. And he made a good point, especially on the last podcast, that if we would have just stopped and not given Ukraine the first couple of billion, that we could have taken care of every vet that's out on the streets right now, and taking care of those guys that served our country. And
and saying that 10 times over.
Yeah, and in saying that, I'm like you, J Love. I got tired of the negative. I got tired of that whole. Every time you look up, it's something negative. And me and Russell had this conversation. That's why we're going to change it up a little bit tonight. Russell gave me some great topics, I think, that can really change it up and get some different views from all of us this time. But I got tired of it, and so I started. If you guys want to hear, and y'all probably already know about this Navy SEAL David Goggins, Goggins. You want some good positive stuff to think about, and he's a real deal. I mean, he's no bullshit. And what really, the first thing that attracted me to him when I was listening to him, and he says, these people go to therapists to try to fix themselves and get better. And he said, but what the fuck is a therapist going to tell you if they've never been through it? Sure. I mean, if that therapist has never had to lose 300 fucking pounds, or if that therapist has never been screwed in the ass by his uncle, then what good is it to him? You got to overcome your own shit. You got to do, and you got to win, and you got to fight your battles every day. So I started really doing that every morning, looking for something positive after I get out of my ice water bath. Try to get something positive going into the day. Anyway, Russell, what any WTF moments for you this week, buddy?
Not really, except for the realization that man, I really am getting older. This is the first year. New Year's Eve, it used to be, hey, let's go drink, let's party. I didn't even make it to midnight. I was full drool on the pillow, and I wake up the next morning. I'm like, man, you really are getting old. You can't even make it to midnight. I had no desire. I didn't want to do anything. I just want to go to bed. So
you really think it's just a getting old, or is just we've already done it all? I mean, what's the what's the use?
The attitude has changed about it, I guess. I'm thinking I could go out and have drinks. There's a billion cops out on the road. Why drink and drive? Why risk it? It's stupid. For what? It's just another night. So like my attitude has changed, I guess. So getting older. So for me, that was kind of a what the fuck moment from my perspective.
That's good. Had something to look forward to, Tristan. I think he's asleep. I don't know. I think Tristan sleeps with his eyes open. Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Tristan, what you got? Any WTF moments this week?
I probably share the same one with everybody, and it was probably the DeMar Hamlin thing. That was a pretty big what the fuck moment the other night.
Yeah.
That was absolutely scary, and the scariest thing about that is the reaction from different people throughout the whole process. I mean that's a human life, and people are talking about different things going around it. And now a lot of those people are trying to crawfish about their statements and what they said and what they meant and all that shit. You know what? There's a point in time, I think it's like I told Russell today or yesterday, Russ, I don't remember. I told him, I said, you don't go to you don't go to a wake and look at your buddy and look over and go, hey ma'am, can I have his golf clubs? Can I buy his golf? You just don't say shit like that.
Where the white women at?
Yeah, right. Skip Bayless, you piece of shit. Anyway, that was a what the fuck moment. I mean, it brings out it and then the way those players reacted, Tristan. I mean, both teams, coaches, it's a scary thing. It brings things to life.
Well, and then when you look at both of those teams are so young.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 26, 27 tops across the roster. And these kids have never faced death. Not something like that. I mean, I would say they play a violent game, but it's definitely not as violent as it was when we played.
Right.
There is still hard and heavy hits that can be administered, but the fact of the matter is the looks, like you're saying, the looks on these guys' faces, I mean, it told it all. Yeah. I mean, that told the entire story right there. That was their what the fuck moment for probably a lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're sitting there and they're like, what in the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So
you say, and I agree with you also, J Love. The past, the football that we used to play and watch is completely different. I mean, there were less rules and things like that. But nowadays, you got guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 280 pounds running 4.40s. I mean, you have a truck like that coming at you. That shit's gonna. I mean, that is scary stuff. Donnie,
it will leave a mark.
No doubt. Donnie, other than what you're going through with your illness, any WTF moments with you, buddy?
If you didn't check, Twitter files came out again this week with Matt Tabi, and the government tried to suspend 250,000 right-wing accounts.
Only one of them.
Varying from, and most of these were blue check marks. They said over 100,000 were blue check marks. Like, that's crazy. There's only like 290,000 blue check marks out there on the right, supposedly, but 250,000, and they paid $3 million for promoting disinformation. So yeah, the files that he's releasing now are the deep files, and they're getting no coverage on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but it'll go down as probably the biggest thing that has not been covered since the JFK cover up. So
yeah. I guess it's not a WTF moment, but it was a moment. I saw this Republican's tweet. It said Democrats are all about allowing illegal immigrants into our backyard as long as it's not their backyard.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like I just thought that was I thought that was for pretty poignant. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now.
Dude,
but
I do remember a what the fuck moment. It just go figure. It's like a fucking squirrel. There was something floating around on I can't remember where I saw it, whether it was YouTube or maybe TikTok, or I caught it on Rumble or something. But there was a young gentleman who received his first HRT treatment, and suddenly this man, because he's not a fucking woman, let's be honest, but this man was sitting there saying that he was suffering from what he called menstrual cramps, and he was holding his abdomen, but I mean, we're all men on this fucking show,
No
so
way.
Called
we
gas.
know that. Huh?
Yeah, it's called gas.
Called gas.
It's called
Yeah.
gas.
It's called fucking. You know what? You've got to
Take some
take a
fucking Pepto,
massive
bitch.
fucking shit. You got to take a massive fucking shit is what you need, because
Yeah, go
where
take
he
some
was
Pepto and call me
holding,
in the fucking morning.
where he was holding himself was in his abdomen, not in his lower abdomen, like where his vagina would be that he's never gonna have. He's a
Good.
fucking dude. Let's admit it.
That's fucking gas.
Yeah, exactly. And he's sitting there writhing in pain. I'm like, bro, you don't need to fucking. You're not having menstrual cramps. You need to go fucking release the Kraken is what you need to do.
Yeah, I've been doubled over driving. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I was like,
That's fine.
I was like, this cannot be fucking happening. This cannot be happening. But you know what? It is the world that we live in, sadly. But somewhere along the lines, we've got to change things. So,
Well, we're hoping to change things. I don't know that we will. I think it was. Gosh, I wish I could remember this, and y'all probably saw it on TikTok. Rip from Yellowstone. I forget what his real name was. He was on Dazed and Confused.
Hauser.
Yeah, Cole Hauser. He said something about Reagan made a quote. Reagan made a quote about. What was it, Donnie? Do you remember what he said? Something about the future of America.
You're only one generation from a future that is destined
to failure.
Yeah,
You're one generation away from losing your freedoms.
There you go. You're only one generation away from losing your freedom, and I think we're there. And I think this generation, this millennial generation, we're right there. We're really close to losing those freedoms. But hey, J Love.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what do you think about TCU winning, and what do you think about Georgia winning, real quick?
Man, this isn't that show. We're supposed to be talking about good stuff. I don't talk about losing bets.
Well, I won. Okay, never mind.
Well, I did not see TCU winning. I honestly did not. But I'm here to tell you, I honestly think that they're coming in and they're going to fucking step on the throats of Georgia. I really do.
I love it. All right. We'll take you to another show. We'll take you to another show.
Hold on, because I'm a Baylor Bear. And I fucking hate TCU. So let me just say this: fuck TCU. Go Dogs.
Okay, all right. Don't y'all have a basketball game to go to over there? Hey,
yeah, it's about to start. As a matter of fact.
All right.
Who y'all playing?
TCU.
Oh,
hey,
top 20 matchup, baby.
Let's start with this. And I think I sent y'all the text message, but I'm curious to hear what your top 3 sitcoms are any area, in any era, what your top 3 sitcoms would be.
They got to be on syndicated TV, or can they be on cable?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Doesn't matter.
It's got to be. It's just got to be. It's just got to be. So I came up with this. It's got to be basically your 30-minute, 1 hour weekly television show. We're not talking about like Monday Night Football. We're not talking about
30-minute show, whatever.
By
the way, while y'all think about that, real quick,
Okay.
everybody that's listening in, I know I did a TikTok and all this stuff. We were going to have my buddy Johnny Ballgame on here. We're going to talk about the Bible. He couldn't get his microphone to work and all that. So maybe we can have him next week. So you guys that were waiting to hear a little Bible talk, we're going to wait on it for next week.
That was the devil probably playing juju on his mic.
Yeah, right.
The devil didn't want him to talk.
That's right. He didn't want him over here with us. Top 3 sitcoms in any area. What are your top 3? My number 1 was Archie Bunker. What was that sitcom called?
All in the Family.
All in the Family. Yeah, I thought that was so racially incorrect. It was wrong in every aspect of everything, but it was one of the funniest shows that I used to watch. Who's next?
I thought you were getting
There's
3.
only one.
There's only one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving one right now. Donnie, what do you got?
Oh,
My top three in no particular order are Suits.
I just before you go, I just started Suits.
You're gonna love it. Like
I'm on season 2. That show's fucking
yeah,
awesome.
it's comedy. It's everything lawyers do go through on a day-to-day basis. If you know good lawyers, it makes you think. It lets you learn. Like it teaches you to think outside the box. Number 2, Dexter. I love Dexter. Like it's always been one of my favorite shows. What's that?
Yeah. So we're talking about sitcoms, not a HBO Showtime. We're talking about, like a Roseanne.
Comedy.
That's what I said.
Right.
It was a sitcom. It came out.
All right. What's your third one, Donnie? What's your third one?
Why you blowing up my show, man?
I'm
My bad,
sorry.
dog.
I don't think that's a sitcom, but go ahead.
It's not a
All
sitcom.
right, well, is Game of Thrones a sitcom?
No.
Why not?
It's a
It came out every week. You had to wait every week for it.
Frasier, Friends.
Okay,
But it wasn't funny.
I think
Seinfeld.
I need to go ahead of Donnie.
Sitcom is a syndicated comedy. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Blacklist. Is that considered one?
No.
That's freaking on NBC. What are you talking about?
bro. Okay.
By the way, me and my wife love Blacklist. We're watching it right now. I think we're on season 5.
It's so good, but listen, this is okay, Donnie. No, Donnie, listen. All right.
Listen, Donnie.
George Lopez. That's one of mine. And Full House.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why? I could have guessed Full House.
My dude.
I could have guessed Full House.
Back door.
I probably have a third one, but I can't.
I tell you what, I've got my other 2 are number 1, Friends. That's how I grew up with Friends. That was my number 1. And then the 70s show. The 70s show was so freaking good.
I used to watch that. Yeah.
J Love, hit us with your best shot.
First on the list, and by far my favorite was Three's Company.
Oh, yes.
And I still watch that because it's on Pluto TV. It's just they got a whole channel dedicated to that fucking show. And I'm with Trist on Full House. I love Full House.
I can't see that, J Love. I think that's funny because I cannot see you watching that.
Dude, that show was, and I don't know. As far as the third one, I'd have to be with Donnie because it would have to be a toss up with Californication or Banshee or
Parks and Rec.
Who?
The Office, Parks and Rec.
I've never once watched any one of those.
Or what's the okay? I think I know where I think I know what Russell's going to say. But go ahead, Russell. Tell us your 3 because he's got like a cartoon in there once.
Yeah, my third one is Big Mouth. Big Mouth off of fucking Netflix. Dude, if you've never gotten the fucking chance, it's really not a sitcom, but it's on Netflix. It's a 30-minute show. It's all animated. Nick Cruz is the main guy and director in that thing. Nick Krause, whatever his name is. And it's like if you've ever wanted to know what it was like being a preteen into a teenager and the coming of age, it goes into everything. It is the funniest fucking
Tristan, this is what me and you talk about, Tristan. J Love and Donnie are the kids in the back of the classroom that refuse to answer the questions the right way.
I can't believe Donnie took cinematic TV masterpieces and called them sitcoms.
That was Blacklist, not a sitcom.
It's not a sitcom.
Yeah,
that's like show.
That's like calling Bloodsport a rom-com.
Donnie, tap your mic.
But it was Chung Lee and Frank Dukes had a fucking affair. They just didn't show that on TV.
Dexter was funny. I don't care what y'all say.
Okay, it was, but it's not a goddamn sitcom.
It is to me. Family Guy. There you go.
Family Guy.
No, that works.
Simpsons.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, go ahead, Russell.
So my third, I'm going to go in order. My third is The Wonder Years. Love that show growing up. Fuck you, J-Lo. Two, who didn't like Winnie Cooper growing up? Are you kidding me? She's still hot.
Last time I saw a mouth that big had a hook in it. Go ahead, Russell.
Well, she'd need a big mouth for me.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Second for me is I send you clip after clip after clip, and if you haven't
Take
seen
like a tuna can.
yeah, like a wheel of cheese. Look at, I send clips to Coach all the time.
Like string cheese.
Family Guy to me is just one of the most clever shows. One of my favorite shows. I've seen every episode for 20 seasons, and my very favorite, which is along the lines of what Coach said, but a newer generation, was Married with Children. That was all time.
Yeah.
I freaking
That was so risque
that.
for the time too,
bro. And he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's like top 3 quarterbacks of all time.
Running back. He scored 4 touchdowns in one game for Polk High. But I literally in my RV right now have the full box set every season of Married with Children. It's great. So, Al Bundy, God bless him.
We're gonna quit shaking your head and go to work over there, Tristan. All right, serious talk. This is something I really want to hear. This is something my wife can't wait to listen to on the way to work tomorrow. Also, again, thank you, Russell, for this question. I think it's perfect timing. What should a woman, guy? What should a woman's role be in a relationship, in a marriage, right now in 2023, and how has it changed? And I'm glad we've got some guys almost as old as I am in here. How has it changed throughout the year? But what do you think their role is here in 2023? A woman's role in 2023.
I mean, it's definitely changed. I mean, when I first got married the first time, it was very much a woman stay at home or have a decent job, nothing crazy, raise the family, make sure the house was in order, things like that. Now they're just as much equal to contributing as anyone else.
If not more. Yeah.
Yeah. In a lot of cases they are more. I mean, I got an ex that's got a puppy. I mean, she just takes him around. But anyway, for me, I just want somebody who contributes and wants to help. The girl I'm dating now, we go out and she's like, I'm buying this. And I'm like, you're not buying this. I got my kids with me. She goes, I'm buying it. You bought last time. That impresses me more about, because she doesn't have to. She just offers. Like that shows me she's willing to put in the work. So that's more important to me in my life than, loyalty and respect are right there, with effort and energy. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed though since the 90s when I first got married.
Well, and it's even changed since us growing up as kids. I mean, like myself and Donnie and even Coach, and Russ too. Our parents, it was different. The way that the household was ran was different, like Donnie had touched on. I mean, the fact of, a woman kept the house, but yet, that whole make sure your man has dinner bullshit and all that. And then coming from a Mexican household, my mom would make sure that everything was done, make sure that all the cooking was done, the cleaning was done, this, that, and the other, and still had a full-time fucking job because she worked for the government. And so in between doing all that shit, and she wasn't a janitor because she was Mexican, I'm just saying, but she did her thing and then come home and cooked and cleaned and made sure that everyone else was taken care of. And then she is still hadn't eaten. Everyone else has ate. And then now she's in the process of cleaning the kitchen. And then I just remember growing up, I was like, man, I can't do this shit. So as I got old enough and then started dating and then ended up married, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I do not want a woman to wait on me. I said, I can't handle that. Just watching my mom go through that shit. And then of course my parents divorced, so I get it, but shit happens. But loyalty and respect, like Donnie said, it definitely is something that needs to be there. But this day and age, a woman, I mean, her role is even more prominent, if not more influential in the household than a man's is. And in a lot of instances, you get so many men that get butt hurt over that. And they're like, well, I'm the man of the house. I need to do this and this, that, and the other. But then that motherfucker can't even change a tire on a fucking Yugo. So it's
Why are you throwing my business out there?
it's what you got a Yugo?
No.
It's just amazing. I have no woman, or I have no.
You
woman.
go to the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
I have no qualms. I have no bitches, moans, and groans about a woman pulling her weight, or even pulling more than her share of the weight. I mean, if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. Because in a marriage, it takes two people. It takes two. And in a lot of ways, that I think we as men and women, we've got to throw pride out the window and realize that you're in this fucking shit together. You got to figure it out, together, and work together to make it, just one badass cohesive fucking unit. And then that's going to reflect on your kids, and then your kids are going to look at the way that your relationship is, the communication, the trust, this, that, and the other. Whereas, like with me growing up, I mean, hell, I was lucky if I got to see a 3-round fight between my mom and my dad, and it was, okay, who's going to win tonight? Who's getting knocked out tonight? I'm not saying that happened all the time, but that's a lot of the childhood that I remember. And I'm like, man, if I, when I grow up, I'm never doing this, and I'm never doing that, and I'm never doing this. But along the lines, never say never, because
let's ask our youngest staff member here.
About to get married.
He's about to get married. He's young. How old are you, Tristan? 25?
26.
26. And how old is your bride or your fiance?
27.
27. Atta boy.
Cradle robber.
I love it. So tell me, Tristan, what is her role in y'all's relationship, if you don't mind?
We do everything 50-50.
Everything's 50.
Yeah, everything. And
so you have one.
She wants it that way though. Like it ain't me. I mean, I can take care of it if I need to, but she likes to do everything 50-50.
So she's got a full-time job.
Yep, she's a teacher.
And you got, good for her. God bless her. There's a special place in heaven for her. So you got two bank accounts or one joint?
Well, right this second, they're split just because, I mean, we're not technically married yet.
Okay, but you are going to have, it is going to be together, right? And then y'all are going to y'all split the bills 50-50, the mortgage, the light, everything's 50-50?
So no, it's more like I take care of some things and she takes care of other things. I mean, I guess I probably I take care of the house payment and shit, but
yeah,
like I'll do the house payment, she'll do the like the light bill and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So who cleans the house?
Both of us.
Both of y'all? Are y'all on the schedule?
I won't lie. She cleans more than I do, but I mean, like, I pick up after myself, or I try to.
Who cooks?
We alternate nights, actually.
Atta boy. So y'all do have kind of a schedule of what you do.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate fucking cooking every other night.
Yeah. Do you have? Y'all don't have kids yet, right? You just have dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I got you. What about cars? Y'all have your own cars?
Yep.
Pay for your own shit there with the cars?
Well, my truck's paid for. She's paying for her own car, yeah.
Your truck's paid for, and you just got one, right?
Yeah.
God, you're living right. So let me ask you this: when you go out, do you like open doors for her and stuff? Do you pay when y'all go out to eat?
Depends on if she pissed me off or not. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just
Yeah.
playing. Yes, yes,
Yeah, you do all that good stuff, right?
yes.
So you're the chivalrous type.
Not intentionally. It's just how I was raised.
So if when y'all have
Good on
kids,
you.
Tristan, when
When
y'all
you
have
were raised
kids,
right.
when y'all have kids, are you gonna want her to stay home and raise the kids, or do you still want her to work and do her own thing?
I don't know. I mean, I hadn't really thought that far ahead yet. And be honest with you,
Well, good. Good. We're gonna grill you right now.
Oh,
Yes
shit.
or no? What do you want her? Do you want her to raise your kids, or do you want a nanny to raise your kids?
I would. I mean, I personally would rather her do it, but you never know. That's kind of an expensive type of deal.
Yeah, I hear you, Russell. What
Well,
do you think? This is your question.
so it's the reason that I phrase the question the way I do is because in my opinion, there's a way that it should be, and then there's a way that reality is in 2023. In 2023, I think it's an equal partnership. I think there has to be respect on each side. I think that the culture with a lot of these women these days, this I'm a boss bitch, I'm an independent woman, I'm a diva. I think that men are toxic, masculinity is toxic. I think that is just the downfall of our society. But I do think that nowadays you do have to have two incomes in order to survive these days. And so the woman, the place, honestly, unless you're in a certain situation, is you can't that woman can't be at home, raising the kids. How I was brought up and how I think that the reason that we lived in a better country 30, 40, 50 years ago is you used to be able to survive on one income, and the man goes to work, he pays the bills, the woman stays at home, she takes care of the children, she raises the kids, she teaches the kids the values that the husband wants to be instilled in the kids. And the way things have changed in society, and I think it's by design with the way our country is headed, is now you can't afford to do that. So basically both of the parents now have to go work, and now the schools are raising our children, and you see, and they've done it by design. So now they've got the government has two taxpayers versus one, and now you have the school system indoctrinating children. A woman's place is wherever between those two people, but how it should work and the best way it should work is for the women to raise the children, to be at home, to bring your kids up the way that to be taught by the mother based on what the husband and the wife mutually agree on. And it's not realistic anymore, and that's why I said, why has it changed? It's changed because it's just not it's not feasible anymore. So in 2023, you do have to have two incomes for the most part, and it has to be an equal partnership. The problem is a lot of American and Western women these days have the attitude of, well, take care of me. Y'all see the TikToks. Y'all seen the women. I want a guy that's 6 foot tall that makes $100,000 a year. He's going to pay all my bills. He's going to take care of my kids, and I do whatever the fuck I want. And I think that's just an awful way of thinking.
I think we're looking at the wrong TikTok.
Here's
Good way of
I guess
thinking.
here's my question, because I think we're I kind of want to get a little deeper into this. Let me ask this question. I want to ask each of you this question, and it's real simple. I don't need a paragraph or a synopsis or a thesis. I need a real. It's a real simple this or this. If you were outside your home and your home caught on fire and your wife and your child were in the house, who do you save first? Real simple. It's either the wife or the child. Who do you save first? Tristan?
Child.
Russell?
You're supposed to say the spouse, but it's the child.
Donnie,
Child, it's not even close.
J Love.
My guns and ammo.
Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, if you look back at the way we're talking about how it used to be. Okay. And there is a question, and this is, I mean, it's biblical. It's you save your spouse first. And then if you get to the child, great. But you're awarded a blessing with your spouse.
But why? Why is it because that bullshit thought about that? Well, you could always make another.
Well, no, it's
child.
not a bullshit thought.
you
This is
have-
my thought. I don't think your thoughts are bullshit. My thoughts
you
aren't going
just
to be
said-
bullshit
You
either.
just said it. You just said it's biblical. So
Yes.
therefore, that's where I went with it.
No, but that because it's
And I
biblical,
wasn't-
because it's biblical, and because I believe it, it's bullshit. No,
No.
that train
no,
of thought is
no.
bullshit. No,
No,
my
and
train
I
of thought is
wasn't
this,
done,
and this is why I'm asking. I didn't say Donnie was wrong. Donnie said 100% the child, not even a thought. Right, Donnie? You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even think it's the thought. I think I don't agree with Donnie. I don't think it's bullshit. And here's my thought process on this. Okay, and I am going to be wrong with 100% of you guys. If you are blessed to have your spouse, it was a blessing. It was a gift. Also, the child was a gift. Also, if you do it right, you're awarded one. A child, if you lose a child, you still have your spouse. You can be blessed with more children.
Exactly. That's where I was going with it.
You can be blessed with more children, but you're not. You may not be blessed with another wife. You know, and that's where, from biblical standpoints, that's where I get this, and this is why. And I've talked to my wife or my new wife about this. We've talked about it, and she never heard it, and I showed it to her. And I do believe that. I believe it's just, you're going to be, if you do things right, you'll be blessed with other things. So we're talking about the past, how the women, and Russell went into his on how the women used to cook and clean and have all the food ready. I think J-Lo said the same thing. Have all the food ready. My grandparents were migrants, so my grandmother never had an outside job, but she fed 12 children, and she cleaned and she did everything for 12 children and a husband. That's the way it was back then. My thing now, and this is something that me and my wife are going through and we're talking about, is who do you put first? If we're not going to put each other first in this relationship, then this relationship's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. I've told her that. We're talking about that, and we're 2 years into our marriage, and we're still discussing this, because as we have come to learn, marriage is work. It is a job. It's not easy. And she told me, she goes, well, you didn't give me this. Well, because I felt like this, because you weren't putting me, I didn't feel you were putting me first. So then I gave up on this end. And I know we have different things this second time. She's got her kids from another marriage, and she's got a new job, and and so do I. But if we don't find a nice and even playing field to where she does come first, before my job, before my daughter, before these things, and show her and nurture her, then this relationship just isn't going to work. That's me. Go ahead, J-Love.
I go back to I'd say my guns and ammo first.
Tristan, what do you think?
I'd say my kids.
I already gave my answer.
Okay, so now I'm going back to
He did.
this.
He said his gun,
Well,
or not his gun. He said his
Okay,
kids.
okay,
Or
Coach.
child.
So you're talking about biblical, right?
Well, no, I said that's where I got mine from.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah,
So when you're talking about biblical, well, what does the Bible say about a household? And who's the head of the household?
The man.
The man is the head of the household, right? Well,
Right.
in 2023, that doesn't really fly anymore. And that's kind of the point I was trying to make.
Well, why not? Why can't it fly? Let me ask you that.
Because of the attitude of women in the West.
Well,
because
it's been
of the
shoved down our throats by the left so long.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the
feminism?
Well, okay, what is the definition? The legit definition of feminism. What is it? Anybody know it?
Caring, nurturing, soft place to land.
No, give it to me.
In a nutshell.
Nope.
Give it to me. What is it?
Advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes.
Okay.
Feminist, according to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for you. They should have every right that we have. Well, I don't disagree with that.
Right.
But that's not what they want.
Right.
That's not
Exactly.
what the left wants. The left
That's
wants
not what they
something-
demonstrate. They don't
Yeah, I mean-
demonstrate feminism at all.
No. It's not feminism. It's different. But that has been pushed so far down on the left that it's they don't want men to be the head of the household. They want men to be submissive. They don't
That's
want
correct.
strong protectors. They want
Okay. I am the head of my household. We have talked about it, and she is the queen of my castle. We've
And
talked
she
about
deserves,
this.
and that's great. And she deserves
We've said this. In the same token, I am submissive. I can be submissive. It doesn't have to be my way all the time, you know.
Well,
but because she
that's
does
why
have
it's a two-way street.
compromise and submissiveness are two different things.
Exactly. And that's and I think that's where Russell's point is, and where Donnie's expounding on it further, is the fact of the matter is, in our current state of affairs and where we are currently as a climate in general, that's definitely not the case. The way that your grandparents grew up, the way that my grandparents grew up,
100% agree.
It is in no way, shape, or form that way anymore. My mom and I, it's my mom's birthday today, so happy birthday to her again. But the fact of the matter is, her and I were having a discussion about this same thing last night, that family in general, whether it be your immediate family, husband, wife, kids under the same roof, and then you go beyond that with your aunts and uncles, cousins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Family is not family anymore. There's not too many families that I know that sit down at the dinner table all together, all at once at the same time.
100%.
Say grace.
Right.
Say grace. Enjoy each other's company. Break bread together without the interruptions of an electronic device or anything to that nature. Right. I'm guilty as that as anybody. So
I can tell you I can tell you 100%, J Love, to what you're saying. My wife, I think she's 30. She's fixing to turn 38. That's about as young as I can marry right now.
Damn, cradle robber.
Anything younger than her than 40. Anything younger than her than 40. They'd be too stupid for me to even think about, because of the generational gaps of how we're brought up. I'm not calling your wife, Tristan, and that, I'm not calling them stupid, but her thinking and my thinking would be so archaic. It would be so different. There's no way. There's just no. There would be no way to do this. Luckily, my wife now is smart enough and intelligent enough to have a conversation and to call me out on my dumb shit, as Russell knows. But
the thing is, it's hard to find a woman like that. It really is, and then vice versa. I'm not just saying that against towards women. It's hard to find a good dude like that also.
Well, yeah, you can't find a good dude like that, because these fucking women are like my before this. I was talking to my wife about this before this, and this is another thing about these fucking women nowadays. These younger generational women. If they don't have a job, if they don't have shit, and you find them, they're all over you because they need you, they want you, and they're right behind you. As soon as they get a little job, they get a little money, they get a little success, fuck, they throw you to the fucking curb and go find something else in a hurry.
Because they're always looking for the next big thing.
Yeah, the next big thing, literally.
Well, and then not only that, they can take half your money, take your kids, and that's why the suicide rate for men is so much higher than for women now, because of the breakdown of the family. Because men are scared. I mean, men are legitimately scared to marry women these days, and with good reason.
Oh no, no doubt about it. And again, I know people are listening to this. I'm not hating on women. This isn't a hate on women episode at all.
Awesome.
No. But the generational gap of me and like Tristan and his future wife, the ideology and the things that we expect and we want are so much different than before. So much different than before that it would be. That's why I don't know what the fucking role of a woman in a relationship in 2023. I mean, fuck, I'll see you 9:00 at night, I guess. And
I think the big thing is high value men, or men that consider themselves high value, don't want to be married in a situation like that. There are plenty of men out there that do want to be in that situation where they want to be just coddled and controlled and told what to do.
Emasculated.
But if you value yourself and taking care of your family and doing the right thing, you're probably not going to jump into a relationship where that's the case. And that's why when we said earlier, these women are getting, I want the 6 foot tall, 100,000 a year, pays all my bills. They're not going to find that, because that's the high value men, and they're like, screw that. Yeah. I'll wait until I have $1 million a year, and then I'll just pay a little sugar baby over here and have fun.
Yeah. No, well, I think, and I think with my wife, I think it is sexy. I think it's erotic. I think it's hot as hell that, she makes 6 figures a year. I think, she takes care of her kids. She takes care of, the ex, my wife has her fucking head on straight. She's a smart sumbitch, and it's sexy as fuck to watch that. The difference is our communication is, let's not put all the other material shit before each other. It's got to be me and you first, and then the other. Because going to fucking Puerto Rico by myself would fucking suck. If you're not there, or going here or doing this or doing that by myself would suck balls. I want you there. I need you there. I got to have you there. So in everything we're talking about, my wife being strong, being a boss at her job, doing all that, it's sexy as hell to me. I love everything about it. Our deal is, let's not lose who we are. And when we're talking about, the role in the relationship, going back to the beginning, you guys are right. It's got to be it's a 50-50, your half, my half, but it's got to be me and you first. If not, this shit just isn't going to work.
Well, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. My mom and dad in March will be married 42 years. They got married in March in 1981, and my mom and dad are having a feud with my younger sister, who's 38, and it's really my sister and my mom fighting with each other, right? Well, my sister goes to my dad and tries to get him to flip on my mother, and my dad says, "No, that's my wife. I back her up. You're my child. I love you, but I chose your mother. So whatever she says, I'm going with, because I chose her. I had you. I love you," which really impressed me, that it kind of blew me away, because his attitude toward that. But growing up, my mom ran the house until she didn't, if that makes sense. She ran the house. She did everything. She worked a full-time job. She took care of us. She cleaned the house. And she made the rules until she didn't. And then when my dad would, and it was not often, it was very, and so when he said something and he meant it, it stuck. And it was very seldom, but when he made a decision and he had to step in, you knew who ran it. There was no question. And that's the way it should work. You would think she runs the roost and she wears the pants. She really doesn't. But when there's something that he feels strongly enough about, that's the final answer. And he respects her. He loves her. He treats her great. That's why they've been married for 42 years. And for me, as an example of seeing that, to me, and the way I was raised, that's why I feel the way that I do, is because I've seen that and how it's supposed to work. And is it always sunshines and rainbows? Fuck no with them. But fuck, they've been married 42 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, it's work. It's definitely work. I mean, we've only been married 2 years and we're still working at it. Other people may see us and think, oh, these motherfuckers have it made. No, we work at this shit. I mean, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it doesn't change the fact. I don't care if it's 2023 or if it's 2003. I still expect certain things from my wife, and she should expect certain things from me. And it's okay for her to tell me no every now and then. And it's okay for me to tell her no every now and then, just out of respect. That's the way it should be.
The biggest part about that is communication.
Yeah.
And that's what is lacking from so many relationships today, is the fact that there is no communication. If it is, it's transmitted through an electronic device and you're fucking sitting 2 feet away from each other. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't remember where we were. I can't remember. And there was literally a table of 6, and each and every motherfucker at that table, men and women, were on the phone out together, communicating with each other via text message at the same fucking table.
Yeah.
And I was just flabbergasted. And I'm sitting there thinking, these relationships will not last.
Yeah. J-Love, me and my wife used to go to Old Town, and we'd sit there with 10 or 12 of our friends, and we'd look at each other, and every single one of them is on their phone. We're at a bar drinking, having a good time, and they're all on the phone. We're like, well, fuck, we should just stay home and drink, or go get our own little table and drink and have a good time. But you're right, communication's a big thing, and this, like I told my wife, and I was married before, and I told her, I said, I've never loved anybody like I loved you, like I love you. I've never cared for anybody like I care about you. And it all started because of the communication, because we became friends first, and then we fell in love accidentally.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, but that's the truth.
Oh, I know.
We jumped out of a plane together, and ever since then, we've been joined at the hip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was our first date. But that was something else. Oh, wait a minute. Did y'all hear that?
I heard it.
Oh, I think we got a FMK coming up.
Oh shit.
Donnie, you want to run with it? Are you ready with it?
All right. Tonight, special edition of FMK.
All right.
We're going with top Sports Illustrated swimsuit models.
Oh boy.
I'm going to make it hard. I mean, because let's be honest, this is the cream of the crop here. Like these are the top dogs. So we got, in no certain order, Heidi Klum. We got Kathy Ireland. Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, wow.
But wait, there's more.
What?
This is a polygamous marriage. So you can't have a swimsuit without Elvin McPherson. So, that's your 4.
Oh, okay.
You can make it a polygamous marriage, or you can kill 2, or you can just fuck 2, or whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see the twist here.
I mean, because you can't go cream of the crop and narrow that down to, heck, it was hard to narrow it down to 4. I got
Yeah.
easily
Oh my gosh.
I only know.
Okay,
Donnie, text me the names because I only know one.
I'll go first. What the fuck was that?
I don't even know.
That was awesome, is what that was.
That was like the
pretty-
fucking. That was the fucking Adam Family shit.
That was pretty cool.
Okay, since we're going polygamous, let's see. I'm killing Romaine, killing her. I'm going to fuck Elle McPherson, and I'm going to have a happy polygamous relationship with Kathy and Heidi. Because I mean,
Russell?
if fucking Kathy Ireland, if she could do any, I mean, she kicked the ball 60 yards in necessary roughness for fucking Texas State.
That wasn't real.
So goddamn,
That wasn't
yeah.
real.
All right, so is it my turn?
Oh my
probably
gosh.
I'm probably in the minority here, but and don't get me wrong, because this is hard. Heidi Klum is beautiful, but I'm gonna have to kill her.
Because she fucked Seal.
Well,
Ooh, that's a
and
good
I don't
point.
want to get a kiss from the rose from Seal. I'm gonna fuck Elle McPherson, because my God, and then I'm marrying Rebecca Romaine, and I'm marrying Kathy Ireland. And we talked earlier about we talked about Family Guy. There is literally a complete Family Guy episode devoted to Peter Griffin, the head guy on that show, the main character, and he gets a cutout of Kathy Ireland, and he basically tries to divorce his wife for this cutout of Kathy Ireland.
Yep.
It is the funniest shit you've ever seen. But yeah, Kathy Ireland is just a goddess.
Yep.
Oh, guys. Okay. Here we go. Man, I hate to do this, but I have to. I mean, we got to kill one of them, right?
Yeah, you got to.
For me, it's going to have to be Heidi. Then Rebecca, she's my one night stand. And I'm going to marry Kathy and Elle both and live happily ever after.
I just think Kathy Ireland's so underrated for how fucking hot she was. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Tristan.
And Rebecca, just one night with them big old boobies.
I had a poster of her on my wall as a teenager.
Yeah,
We all did.
Oh,
we all did. Yeah, it was kind of. Who's next?
Just remember, Jesse Katsopoulos fucking banged that shit. So
hey, listen, I'll get Uncle Jesse's sloppy seconds. Y'all like Full House?
I'm telling you, you're gonna fucking
Tristan.
taste
Tristan,
All
what you
right,
got?
I'm gonna marry Heidi Klum. I guess I'll fuck Rebecca Stamos, and then I'll kill the other two.
Wow. He's killing
Wow, what a
That's-
good guy.
They're not
You're
that
living-
hot.
You're leaving.
What a
you're
good
leaving
guy.
Some nice,
They're not
you're
that
leaving
hot.
some nice vagine on the table.
Not that.
two. Wow.
I expected better from Donnie.
I thought
boy.
we would get a better take on that from fucking Skip Bayless. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Oh Lord.
Donnie?
Did you see the one float? Sorry, go ahead, Donnie. Sorry.
No, we'll come back to you, J-Lo. Hold that thought.
I'm with you too. Heidi Klum is amazing, but I'd have to kill her. This is where it
Who's
gets
skinny?
interesting for me because I had that poster of Kathy Ireland, and I dreamed about fucking her so many times. I didn't want to marry her. I just want to fuck her, even though I think she's that great. It's just the 17-year-old kid in me is just like, I just got to fuck her. And then Elle was named sexiest person of the year and woman of the year so many fucking times, even into her 40s. She's still gorgeous. I don't know what Tristan's looking at. Maybe he Googled Ellen DeGeneres or something. But I would have to marry her. And it would have to be with Rebecca Romaine, because when she first came out as Mystique in the X-Men, bro, I paused that movie 500 times trying to find little spots in there. I'm like, where's the nipple? I can see it. I know I can
There's
see
a booby.
Because I knew she was just painted. It was all paint and prosthetics.
Oh, so
God.
great.
She's loaded.
Nice. Well, that was your FMK from Donnie Noland. Thank you, Donnie. That was a great job. Tristan, I still don't know. Tristan, I don't understand. You're just going to marry one of them, right? That's all?
That's all we're going to do.
Man, we could.
Okay, boys.
I'm going to hack
Last
your
question
computer.
of the night. What'd you say?
I said I'm going to hack your computer.
You're going to act like it. You would.
I'm gonna find some Kathy Ireland and put it in the.
I watched that movie the other night.
Hey, J-Love.
Huh.
Question. Do you believe in extraterrestrial beings?
I like this question.
You know what? I did until fucking Hillary Clinton said that they existed. And then I'm like, you know what? They're all fucking demonic. So fuck it. They're all devils. So fuck. I don't believe anything. No, I do. If we're that naive enough to think that we were the first ones here or
The only ones here.
We've got a bigger thing coming, man. Because I do. I mean, Fire in the Sky, one of my favorite movies. What they did to that poor dude. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was another great one for the time. I think that there's a lot of untouched stuff that even our own government is not telling us. And I mean, Area 51, there's some shit that's gone on there long before Roswell, and it's just you're talking about going down a fucking rabbit hole, and to kind of talk about what Donnie had mentioned off the air before one episode a couple weeks ago, I think, about that. If you've got a smart TV, a Roku TV, and that Burrow, that you can download Burrow, and it's a free channel, and you talk about going down a fucking rabbit hole. I was fucking watching all sorts of shit yesterday. Died suddenly and out of nowhere, and all sorts of shit. It's just there, and it's just like, okay, this is
so Burrow
up.
is a channel.
Yeah,
it's a channel on a smart TV. Just
Okay.
BURROW.
and the
Hey,
network is called the White Rabbit.
Real quick,
what?
I cut out and y'all froze. What's the question?
Do you believe in
Do you believe in
extraterrestrial beings and aliens? And J-Love says they're everywhere. They were here before us. Tristan, what do you think?
Yes, I do. Do I need to elaborate? Do I need to elaborate?
Well,
on
or
it?
not. I mean, dude, you know what? You know what? I'm starting to think that Tristan has never hung out in a backyard with a bunch of dudes and drank beer, and smoked cigarette, and shot the shit.
He's hung out in the back door of a bunch of dudes.
Oh,
Ooh.
Aren't you sick with like herpes right now?
Hey, we all have herpes. It's good.
He
It's
just-
a gift to keep
he-
on
he-
giving.
No,
he
I
just needs
think.
a little.
I mean, I think they do exist, but I don't think it's like your green aliens and like bullshit like that. I think
Exactly. And I don't either. I don't believe in that either. I mean,
You don't think it's like Men in Black?
no.
Like they take
Fuck
off their
no.
head and there's two little bitty heads and shit like that?
No. I do believe in the shape shifting thing, and it's
You don't believe there's a big old worm down in the
Subway?
in the subway system in New York?
New York is a totally different animal, kind of like California.
So Donnie, you think there's aliens out there, UFOs and shit?
Oh, I have zero doubt. The mathematics on it are undeniable. You'll listen to somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson who tries to actually justify there not being, And that's the part that kills me about somebody like him is he will
Right.
admit that there's a possibility of it, but he's so naive and so confused on how there couldn't be, but he thinks there's no God because God can't be all powerful and all good. Which he can be all good even though he kills people. Like how can you know his motives? You don't know his motives, therefore you can't know. So, but looking at it historically, obviously the government's already said there is. Like everybody in the government has said there is. Hollywood knows there is. Hollywood's been making movies about it for years and years. And if you look at things that are produced in Hollywood, like Stargate or E.T. or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they're all based on true stories that have come from the government. It's math aside, there's just too many historical facts. And if you look at
Donnie believes so, and J Love believes so. Oh no, Tristan believes so too. My wife says there's no doubt.
Oh, yeah,
My wife said
definitely.
there's no doubt. What would you say?
That's because she's a smart woman.
It would be the biggest waste of space ever. All
Nice.
other dimensions and shit like that, right? Is that what you said?
Sure, there's other dimensions, other universes, other timelines.
Yeah.
All this stuff didn't come out of nowhere. Like,
well, and to your point, Donnie, I mean, when you're talking about space and you're talking about the universe, we're just a speck of sand. The Earth is a speck of sand, and it's basically infinite on how many planets, how many stars, how many planets, how many suns. You'd be naive to think that there's not another planet or several or thousands or millions that doesn't have sustainable life on them. Like you're saying, the mathematics, there's no way that there isn't, because there's different planets, different organisms. There's absolutely, and I think the other
Okay, so
part
don't kill me, y'all. Don't kill me here. But so nobody believes in the Bible or God, right?
I do.
Nobody said that.
I totally do.
As far as God,
but let me ask you this: do you think? Here's an easy question. Since you do believe in the Bible, God is all knowing and God is all good. Do you think God is willing to tell you everything, or does He want you to figure it out on your own?
Amen.
Because God gives you tests, God gives you challenges, and gives you the option to fail. If you
hence
fail,
where free will comes in.
you aren't progressing in His eyes. You're not willing to put in the work to be in His eyes. So why would He tell you about other planets and other beings and other universes and galaxies and things like that? I mean, if you want to believe that, then you believe the firmament's real because it's in the Bible. You believe that the stars are just, things that He controls, and that's why, they don't move, because we can look in the same spot in a scope and see that same North Star every day, even though we're hurtling through the galaxy at thousands of miles an hour and spinning it and rotating and doing all the other things. But if you believe that He would be naive enough to only create one race in His image, one species in His image, and give them everything, but He would make billions and billions, an unfathomable number of universes, of galaxies, of solar systems, then you're saying God's not all powerful. You're saying He's naive.
No, I'm saying He did make them, but why wouldn't that be a test for you to either believe in Him and what He has written and shown you, or to go down that rabbit hole and believe something else?
Well, what Donnie's saying is that you can believe.
No, I know what
both,
Donnie's saying. That's why I'm asking this question.
Well, and the other part of that question was not just extraterrestrial, but you're talking about spirits and demons and.
Well, no, I mean, I understand that. I want to finish this though. That's why. Why wouldn't that be a test, Donnie? Like, yeah, He built all that, but now you're going through a wormhole that there's nothing over there. It is just us. Let's just say.
Well, I mean, multiple reasons. I mean, I do believe in God. I don't know that God is the correct name. Maybe it's Yahweh. Maybe it's a previous version that we've been misled by, the Roman Church. But I don't think that, in my belief, God wouldn't put all of his eggs in one basket. Like, why would he? Like, why would he not want to create diverse?
Well, why wouldn't he?
Oh, because he wants to create diverse systems and let them join together, let them create a better place for everyone. I mean,
where was that?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, where did we get that from?
I got it. That's just my belief in God. I mean, he's all powerful, so there's no reason that he can't, and he's all good. So, when he talks about,
well, he can also be all bad. I mean, the 7 plagues, all that. I mean, he can turn shit upside down too.
Why is that bad?
Hmm? No, everybody just thinks the people think, oh, God is all good, and then they get angry because somebody dies of cancer. Oh, no, I mean, I mean, his son went into temples and destroyed tables and turned them upside down, and I mean, he's done all that. So I mean, it's not all. And again, it's just a discussion.
But it's
I love y'all's take on it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's multiple reasons. The math on it, the knowledge that I've gained throughout the years, reading and seeing. I had an experience in the 90s. I was pulled over by a police officer, and the guy I was with was driving. And I've told a few people this. I'm standing outside in Alabama, and evidently he's got a warrant because of an insurance thing, whatever. But I'm literally standing on my hands like they're like, put your hands up. Okay, I'm whatever you say, buddy. And I'm standing outside the car, and we see something come over us, and I'm looking at it, and there's 2 officers in front of me, and one officer goes, "What is that?" And I'm like, that's not human. Like, I know I've seen too many things. It's moving at a speed that is unfathomable. And I mean, this is wide open territory in Alabama where there's nothing. It's just interstate. And the other officer's like, "Yeah, I'm not falling for that." I'm like, "He said it." Like, it wasn't me, he said it. And I had to just stand there and watch it. And it was just moving at a rate of speed that nothing could move. And, it was definitely a triangular craft with 3 lights, like thousands of people have described. And it was just moving at a speed that, and noiseless, probably 200 feet over the deck. And we could see it coming from a long way away, and we could see it traveling really, really fast. And it went overhead without a fucking sound. And me and the officer just sat there and talked about it. And the other officer's just like, "I'm not looking. I'm watching this guy." And I was like, I mean, finally they ended up letting me go, and I had to go bail him out and all this other shit. But me and that officer talked about it for a good 30 minutes after I could put my hands down.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Now, hey, Russ, getting back to you, but I just see as an extraterrestrial and a ghost, or what did you write here? A spirit, as 2 different things. I don't
Yes,
see them.
they are. Absolutely.
I don't see them as the same.
A spirit, and I kind of put them together, but they are separate. You're an extraterrestrial, or what we would call an alien, versus a spirit, a demon, a life force on Earth, the dead, things of that. There's so many, like Donnie's saying, there's so many documented cases of things.
Now, I do believe in that. I do believe in that. There's yeah. I mean, yeah. Aliens. I guess I'm just not. I'm not. I guess I'm. What do you call it? Short-sighted or whatever.
Sure, but let me ask you this, and J Love and Donnie will know. What is the most fortified place on the planet Earth? What is it? It's Area 51.
Now,
fortified. Right. It's Area 51. The reason for that is because they don't want you to know what they know. And there's been so many documented cases in the Air Force and the Navy, and fighter pilots going, dude, we're out here in a fucking F-18 going Mach 6, and something just flies by us or zooms up, gets right next to us, and then flies away, and there's nothing on the radar. There's so many different things that have been said, and there's so many things that the governments cover up. I just think that if you don't think there's other things out there, it's naive. There absolutely there's no doubt.
Agreed.
I'm as sure as the sun's going to come up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, and
real.
then like to go back to the whole God thing, this, that, and the other. I mean, the first verse in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, was or is whatever. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That was the first verse in the Bible. Doesn't say anything about him and God created the heaven and the earth. Oh, and the universe and this, and this. We all have different beliefs. I do think I do know that we are definitely not the only motherfuckers around. I mean, Area 51 is just one of many things. I mean, there's so many unexplained to me. Maybe not to everybody, but to me. Pyramids, those weren't built by man. They were not.
No.
Stonehenge was not just put there just to be put there. There's a reason that Stonehenge is in its particular place, in its particular longitude, and its particular latitude. You even look at the Easter Islands, and then even beyond that, there's just so many, so many things that are just unexplained to us as narrow-minded humans. Because in a lot of ways, we all are. We're all very narrow-minded or closed-minded or however you want to define it. We all are, and this is a rabbit hole that we could travel down and fucking just burrow down in this motherfucker for 2,000 and 3,000 episodes and probably still never scratch the surface.
Right.
And there's just a lot of things that are so unexplained. I mean, you see all these photos and then I was reading one earlier about someone who was supposedly born September 11th, 2018. His name is Joaquin Olivier Kent or some bullshit like that. That in the year what year is this? 2023. In the year 2058, he will be president. He will become president of the United States. Some supposed time traveler found or had given this information, and then looking back at records, there was someone born on September 11th, 2018, and his name was Joaquin Olivier Kent or Kemp, or I can't remember his last name. I'll have to find it. I'm like, okay, is this bullshit? Or did this really happen? Is time travel possible? I'm sure it is. I'm sure that it is. I mean, this is probably a question and a completely different segment. I mean, we could again expound on this forever too. Going back to what Donnie said about Hollywood and even beyond that, the fact that they're making all these movies about stuff that's either one has happened because of a true event or this, that, or the other, or something that is
going to happen.
I mean, you look at the Matrix, and I watched the first one the other night for the first fucking time. I was so fucking tired that all this talk about us, on this show in the Matrix, this, that, and the other, and y'all are always razzing me and giving me shit about you've never seen it, and I never have. And I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan, even though he's never left the role of Ted from Bill and Ted, no matter what he fucking plays. But I watched The Matrix, but I had to watch it 3 and 4 fucking times. But it's not that I didn't get it. It's the fact that every time I fell asleep, it was in the same fucking part. I shit you not, as God is my witness, I would wake up and I would have to rewind it to the part that I had fell asleep on, and it was the same exact time, the same exact minute, the same exact second, every fucking time. It was the craziest fucking thing. So then, of course, here I've got to watch the second, the third, and the fourth one. But yeah, it's definitely it explains a lot. And Andrew Tate is just one of many that has touched on the Matrix, this, that, and the other. But so many people give him shit because he's everyone thinks that he's talking out of his ass, but then he's one of many that doesn't have his head so far up his own ass like everybody else does, and he sees things a lot differently than so many other people do. And the bullshit about the human trafficking thing, this, that, and the other, that's whatever. I mean, they will spin anything in any way that they can. And I mean, when I watched that video, and the first thing they asked him a question, the first thing he fucking says is, "The Matrix got me." I'm like, what the fuck? And he's definitely out there, but he's not as far out there as many may think. And and then I forwarded y'all that video of Trump fucking just totally dissing Greta. And I remember that. I totally forgot about it, but I remembered as soon as I saw it. I'm like, why didn't Tate just fucking do that? But he's trying to prove a point, and it was just insane. I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things, they always tell you when a news story breaks. I've been taught that give it a window of at least 72 hours, and then the truth is going to start to come out. And then some, and then some, and then some. And it's been true so far. And it's just, I mean, everything that they're trying to throw some bullshit up there about Tate, it just won't stick. I mean, that's Teflon Tate there. He's like Teflon Don. That's Teflon Tate. It ain't gonna stick.
Yeah, until they kill him.
Well, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come to something to that nature,
So
and then
I want you guys next week. I want to come, not on our text thread, on here.
Okay.
Because I do all of this stuff. Y'all send stuff on the text thread, but when I find stuff, I take it to our TikTok. By the way, we're growing. I think we're over 500 now on TikTok. I'm trying to do that thing that you do, Donnie, or that you did with the coaches call.
Yep.
I'm trying to do that, but we need to start throwing that shit on TikTok. If y'all know how, that'd be cool. But I want you guys to come at me with some more stuff. I want to believe that there's aliens too. My wife does. Of course, she does. She also believes that a crystal rock can heal whatever's hurting you. But I want some shit. I want some evidence. I want stuff right now where you can tell me, we could bring it up on a website. We could read it, and I want to believe in aliens. I want to know, why they haven't been here yet. Why they're just flying around and leaving us alone, and
they're here now.
They're not, why they're not being my buddies. I'd love to drink some beer with a fucking alien or whatever they drink. I mean, maybe their shit's better than ours. They might have some better tequila and stuff like that. But one last question, and we're going to go. All right. And we're going to go to sports. Donnie, are you alive over there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm alive. Okay.
In history, just give me one, any sport whatsoever. Tristan.
He made this.
What is the greatest sports dynasty of all time? What is the greatest sports dynasty of all time? Any sport, one sport. What is the greatest sports dynasty of all time for you?
You have to expound on it, or just
we just want to know. We might ask a question or two, but I just want to know. What is the greatest sports in your eyes? What is the greatest sports dynasty of all time? Any sport. Go ahead, Tristan.
The New England Patriots.
Okay. I don't. Every time you answer, Donnie rolls his eyes, Tristan.
I mean, I get it. It's the only one he's seen.
No, well, okay. I can make arguments for them. I can make arguments for Golden State. That's about it.
So yours is the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
J Love.
Chicago Bulls.
Okay. I'll change my answer because I was going there too.
It's every 40-year-old's answer.
Oh my gosh.
40-year-old
Hey, LeBron
is.
James. LeBron James is almost 40. You bitch.
Get his cock out of your mouth, Russell.
Hey, when he finishes, when he finishes, I will.
Donnie, what's the greatest sports dynasty of all time?
As someone who's done a lot of research on data and stuff like that, it's a tough choice. Like I do get the best of the modern era is the Patriots, from 2000s on up. But it's hard for me to argue with the Bulls are probably top 3 for me. But the 60s, 70s UCLA men's basketball and the 50s, 60s Boston Celtics are right there neck and neck. I mean, they both played such an incredible role for decades. I mean,
well, let me ask you this, Donnie, because you do the stats. Listen to this answer and tell me what you think. Tiger Woods. Listen to this answer. Muhammad Ali.
Well, then you got to go Rocky Marciano.
Here we go. Every time we bring up Muhammad Ali, some white man brings up Rocky Marciano.
Yeah.
Sexual chocolate.
What do you think about that, Donnie? I mean, if I said, Tiger Woods, I mean, look at the years.
Sure. I was thinking more of like team dynasties. I mean, if you want to go on stuff like that.
If you go individuals, it's different.
If you go individuals,
Rafael Nadal. Roger Federer.
Roger Federer.
No, I mean, I would come closer to putting somebody like John Jones up there from MMA. I mean, what he did.
There you go. Incredible. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Literally incredible what that man did and never lost. I mean, yeah, in a sport where you literally try to kill each other, like, and you could easily say Khabib, but Khabib didn't have to fight the monsters that John Jones did. I mean, John Jones was fighting people that are, Daniel Cormier and
yeah. Now, did y'all see the fight? Did y'all see the fight? Talking about Jones, did y'all see the fight or remember the fight when he fought? What's the dude's Ben? Is it Ben Johnson? Whatever the dude with the fucking long hair.
Anthony Johnson.
No, it was before him. Ben Henderson. Ben Henderson.
Yeah. When
he fought Ben Henderson hit him with a low blow like twice. It was unintentional. It happens. But it was Big John McCarthy was the fucking ref. And he said, do you want me to deduct a point? And the first thing that Jones said, no, sir, don't deduct a point. That's what he said. And I'm like, dude, and he was a no-name at this point. And I'm like, man, he's got some respect here. I can give him that. Because I like Ben Henderson as a fighter. But then he went in and just fucking slaughtered. After that, he slaughtered Henderson.
So you would think so we're you wouldn't put individual sports.
I mean,
along
if you are,
because I'm with you on UCLA. I think it's hands down just easy. For me, it would be the Bruins. You brought that up. I think Russell, you had the same thing.
Yeah.
UCLA. That's hard to beat. Where would the Alabama Crimson Tide be of nowadays?
They're
Nick Saban.
From the 2010s, they'd be
top 10.
Top 10. But I mean, the thing about Jones, which people don't realize, I mean, he did have one loss, but it was a DQ. He got DQ'd for a downward elbow in 2009. But every one of his victories were almost not decisions. I mean, they were knockouts. They were they were
either
submission.
TKOs or submissions.
Yeah, I mean, guillotines and rear naked chokes. And
all right, we're going down a rabbit hole. Hey, I want to hear this though. The what's basketball, NBA, because our millennial vampire has Golden State.
Well, since we're talking about I mean, since we're all of different ages here, I mean, we've got to respect where Tristan's coming from with that, and I get that. I mean,
you ain't got to respect shit that Tristan says.
Well, I mean,
I'm kidding.
They were a great fucking team, and they changed the game.
Steph Curry did change the game,
but he made it to where it's a fundamental to shoot a fucking 3-pointer from half court.
Yeah,
I mean, we were doing that shit when we were in 6th fucking grade, so it's nothing new.
And it was a 2-pointer back then.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, maybe for you old fucks, not for
it
me.
was for me. Shut up. Shut up, you guys. Shut up. Hey,
can I do mine now?
What?
Yeah.
I want to do mine.
You said UCLA. I thought you said UCLA. Go ahead.
Well, I was agreeing, and to what Donnie was saying, if Jordan hadn't retired in the middle of his career, because of the level of competition, because of the time period that it came in, if he hadn't retired for those 2 years, and he would have won 8 in a row, I would have said the Bulls. But I've got to say it's a tie between the Celtics and the Bruins. I mean, you're talking about double-digit championships in a row. That's just it'll never be duplicated.
No.
So if it can't be duplicated, you've got to go with that.
And by the way, my last word before we shut it down and move on to next week is Larry Bird is way better than LeBron James could ever be. Larry Bird was the man among men. LeBron James is fucking whatever.
You know what Jordan was doing it? Jordan at 38 was winning titles. LeBron's missing the playoffs and flopping.
Okay, guys, y'all want to leave anybody with anything positive? Y'all got a joke? Anything y'all want to leave anybody with? Donnie?
Always be willing to evaluate your previous beliefs. And examine, are you always correct? I mean, one of the, and I saw it, I've known it for years, but I saw it, and my boys I got twin 10-year-olds, and they were talking about the world map, and I looked at the world map, and I'm like, that's not real, right? That's not how the world map is. And they're like, what? I'm like, I still can't believe that schools are teaching the antiquated prehistoric map that is so completely off that it's not even true. Like Greenland is the size of Africa, and it's not even close to the size of Africa. And Europe is like, it's just so completely wrong that it's pathetic. Like, Alaska is like this massive.
So we got to go research.
Just understand, like, I don't even know why they would have ever made this map,
right.
Begin with. It makes no sense to me, but somebody in the 50s or 60s drew a map, and it has stayed with us.
Right.
And
yeah,
don't believe it.
They just tried to proportion it so it could fit on a fucking transparency that you could pull down.
Tristan, you want to leave anybody with anything?
Keep thinking about the kid from Buffalo that is fighting for his life still in the hospital.
Thank you. Yes.
Pray for that young man. Poor
Russell,
guy.
you got anything for us?
Yeah, kind of along the lines. I thought about this week. Own your own bullshit. Your first response to everything when somebody says something to you or critiques you or says something that you don't like is to get defensive and to defend yourself and why am I right and you're wrong. Take a minute sometimes to just look in the mirror and go, man, maybe I'm wrong in this. Self-evaluate and own your own bullshit. I'm really bad
Yeah.
about that. I stick to my positions, kind of like Tristan does with LeBron, the bitch James.
I
Just
got you.
just
I hear
own your
you.
own own
I'm
your own
sorry.
bullshit.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Own your own bullshit because you
I
don't
love
know everything,
Yeah.
and sometimes perspective is the correct answer. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes your perspective is incorrect. So own your own bullshit. Don't be afraid to critique yourself because I've gone through some things that I've thought and believed for years and
Yeah.
doubled down, and then turns out I was wrong. And
Yeah.
also don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. It's okay.
There you go.
We
Own
all-
it and admit
we're
when
all
you're wrong. J Love, you got
It's all
anything
part
for
of
the
growing.
people?
part
I
of growing.
do. Exactly. It's all part of growing. Kind of along the lines of what Russell was saying. I mean, own your shit. But my thing is, it's simple. I mean, wanting to be someone you are not is a waste of the person that you truly are. So
There
we'll
you
go with
go.
that.
I love it. A couple of things. Number one, I know you hear us in here and we've got different points of view and everything. I love these guys. I love their point of view. I am learning every time, every Wednesday that we're on here. I am learning. I am growing. Whether I agree or not, I get to go and double check on what they say. So I do appreciate all the points of views. I appreciate everything these guys bring to the table. If I didn't, then we wouldn't be doing this. Also, check yourself if things are going wrong, if things aren't going your way. Sit back, think about it, own your stuff, like Russell said, own it, and you make the change. Whatever you believe in your head, it's going to happen. If you think negative thoughts, it'll be negative. If you think positive thoughts, it'll be positive. Again, pray for that player in Buffalo. Pray
Amen.
for all these football players. Pray for everybody. It doesn't hurt. And if you find somebody tomorrow, one last thing, the first person you see tomorrow, go ahead and give them a hug. Tell them good morning. How you doing? Give them a hug and walk away. Make somebody feel better. Guys, this is another episode of Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. Thank everybody for listening. Go to YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Until next week, adios, my peeps.